to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
There's something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called.
The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed.
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things. But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
Hollywood's brightest lights often cast the darkest shadows. But this time, it seems like one of music's most powerful figures, Sean Diddy Combs, might finally be forced into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. With federal charges looming, rumors of shocking testimonies, and even his lawyers abandoning ship, the fall of Diddy could be the biggest scandal the industry has ever seen. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Usher, a longtime friend and protege, might be stepping into the courtroom to deliver testimony that could destroy everything. The allegations span from illegal parties and coercion to grooming young artists. The deeper you dig, the darker it gets. So, how did the man behind Bad Boy Records end up facing accusations that threaten to dismantle his empire? And will Usher's rumored testimony be the final nail in the coffin? Buckle up. This is a story of power, betrayal, and secrets that were never meant to see the light of day. Just months away from trial, Diddy's world is unraveling fast. He's facing federal charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and more. Allegations that could land him behind bars for decades. In a desperate move, his lawyers filed a motion to suppress evidence seized during raids on his mansion, iCloud accounts, and even a New York City hotel room. They claim the searches were unconstitutional, accusing the feds of using salacious, misleading information to obtain warrants. But prosecutors argue the evidence is irrefutable, painting a picture of Diddy as the mastermind behind a dark and twisted operation. Even more shocking, some of Diddy's top attorneys, known for defending celebrities against the worst of scandals, have suddenly quit his defense. They've cited irreconcilable differences, sparking rumors that what they saw behind closed doors was enough to make even them walk away. But the question remains, what did they find that made them abandon one of the most powerful men in music? For years, Diddy and Usher's relationship seemed like a simple mentor-protege bond. But as the investigation digs deeper, that relationship is starting to look far more sinister. Usher, who lived with Diddy as a teenager, has hinted in past interviews about feeling uncomfortable with Diddy's wild lifestyle, parties filled with things no 13-year-old should have seen. Allegations of grooming have surfaced, claiming that Diddy used his influence to expose Usher to adult situations, potentially manipulating him under the guise of helping his career. And now, sources close to the investigation suggest that Usher might testify against Diddy, revealing everything he saw and experienced. The rumors are chilling. If Usher takes the stand and confirms these allegations, it could be game over for Diddy, not just legally, but in the court of public opinion. The real question is, will Usher risk his career and reputation to tell the truth, or will he stay silent, letting the secrets die in the shadows? The term freak off has become symbolic of everything twisted in Diddy's orbit. Over the years, references to these parties have popped up in interviews, tabloids, and even the occasional lawsuit. What exactly went on at these gatherings is a source of countless rumors. Some insiders describe them as harmless adult parties featuring consenting adults, while others paint a far grimmer picture: heavy substance use, possible intimidation or force, and hidden cameras recording graphic encounters for Diddy's private collection. A chilling undercurrent runs through these allegations. Various sources claim that young men and women, sometimes not even of legal age, were lured in with promises of modeling jobs, record deals, or backstage access to other stars. Once inside, they were allegedly encouraged, if not outright forced, to indulge in behaviors well outside their comfort zones. Afterward, Diddy would keep the recordings as leverage, ensuring that no one dared to speak out against him. It's the kind of rumor that would be dismissed as an urban legend if it weren't for the sheer volume of people telling nearly identical stories. Some say that what initially appeared to be a lavish, carefree environment quickly revealed itself to be a means for controlling up-and-coming talent. In a realm where an endorsement from a mogul like Diddy could make or break a career, many may have felt they had no choice but to comply. This brings us to the mounting speculation that Usher, having been entrenched in Diddy's inner circle for so long, witnessed or even participated in these events, willingly or not. If he testifies that people were indeed exploited, it could validate the entire prosecution's case. Moreover, it might spark others, perhaps too afraid to speak until now, to step forward and corroborate these shocking accounts. At this point, you may be wondering, how did so many alleged crimes remain hidden for so many years? The music industry has a history of closing ranks to protect its biggest moneymakers. Powerful attorneys, hush money settlements, and intense loyalty from staffers who rely on their celebrity employer's paycheck all play a role. The question is whether that wall of silence is finally starting to crumble. Usher isn't the only one who might have stories to tell. Justin Bieber's relationship with Diddy also raises disturbing questions. Usher played a huge role in launching Bieber's career and allegedly introduced him to Diddy's world. Rumors have circulated for years that Bieber felt pressured and uncomfortable around Diddy. He's recently unfollowed Usher and refused to perform alongside him at the Super Bowl, moves some see as an attempt to distance himself from the chaos. Industry insiders suggest that Diddy tried to exert control over Bieber, much like he allegedly did with Usher. Some sources even claim that Diddy was granted temporary guardianship over Bieber for a brief period, a move that, if true, could tie him directly to allegations of grooming and exploitation. If Bieber breaks his silence, he could potentially corroborate claims that Diddy's influence wasn't just about launching careers, it was about controlling them. But will Bieber ever tell the full story? Or is he too afraid of what might happen if he does? When your lawyers start quitting right before a federal trial, it's usually a sign that things are going south, fast. Diddy's top attorneys, including Anthony Rico, one of New York's most respected defense lawyers, have all filed motions to withdraw from the case. The official reason? Irreconcilable differences. But the rumors tell a darker story, that the evidence against Diddy is so overwhelming, so disgusting, that even the best lawyers can't justify staying. Others speculate that Diddy's attempts to use a racial bias defense, that he's being targeted because he's a wealthy black man, didn't sit well with his legal team. Prosecutors argue that this defense won't hold up in court, especially since Diddy's alleged victims come from diverse backgrounds. If Diddy's remaining lawyers can't find a new angle, and fast, the chances of him beating these charges look slim. But in Hollywood, where money and connections can buy almost anything, is it game over for Diddy? How did Diddy operate for decades without these allegations fully surfacing? The answer might lie in Hollywood's notorious code of silence. For as long as the industry has existed, major power players, studio heads, producers, top managers have leveraged their status to keep unsavory stories under wraps. Elaborate non-disclosure agreements, hush money settlements, and the pervasive fear of being blackballed keep victims and witnesses alike from speaking. With someone of Diddy's influence, that protective network could be even more potent. He wasn't just any producer. He was a mogul who could catapult an artist into international stardom with one endorsement. A cosign from him could open doors to unlimited radio play, guest appearances on major tours, and invitations to exclusive events. Who would risk throwing all that away by challenging him publicly? The flip side is that times are changing. Had Me Too and similar movements have made the entertainment world more aware of exploitation, especially sexual misconduct. People once too scared to speak are now more inclined to share their experiences publicly, hoping they'll be believed and protected. That cultural shift might be precisely why the allegations against Diddy are finally bubbling to the surface in such a concrete, court-documented way. Industry insiders suggest that this trial could set a new precedent, forcing other major players to evaluate the skeletons in their closets. If the once invincible Diddy can be toppled by testimonies and evidence from insiders, it might embolden a wave of new witnesses to come forward against other high-profile figures. And that possibility sends shivers down the spine of many who have thrived in the shadows for years. This story is still unfolding. As more court documents become public, and as more people, big names and small, come forward with their experiences, the puzzle pieces of Diddy's world continue to shift. We're witnessing what could be the biggest reckoning in contemporary music history. It's a moment that will test the industry's willingness to address and dismantle its own culture of secrecy. Does Usher hold the key to Diddy's downfall, or will Justin Bieber break his silence in a move that eclipses everything else? Only time will tell. One thing is for certain, nothing about Diddy's reputation or Hollywood's carefully spun narratives will ever look the same. What do you think? Are we finally about to see justice served, or will Diddy's empire survive yet another storm? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This conversation is only getting started. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because major developments are happening fast, and you won't want to miss a single revelation. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Hollywood's secrets might be darker than we ever imagined, but the truth has a way of rising to the surface, no matter how deeply it's been buried.